Sorry, guys. I forgot to put me mic. Hold on. All right. Welcome to the program. My name is Dr. Mankota. You are watching the TPN TV and Radio Network coming to you live from the United States of America. Today we can discuss about one very important thing we don't cause a lot of debates in social media around the world, and this get to do with the recent announcement by the bank governor, Professor Richard Calon, we announced the Central Bank of Sierra Leone don't decide for do a currency redenomination. To be honest with Una, when they may notify me about this, I'm not being really believe that get for happen at this particular time. In fact, two things will make me I not being believe at all. The first thing get for do with the release self, the public release self. It seems like the person just copy the logo of the bank, the central bank, and just type it and copy the bold text of the bank governor in him and paste them, then send it na social media. So anybody will get experience in terms of falsifying documentation, immediately when you see that, you will detect that that was not actual, that was a falsification. But irrespective of that, the notice way I get, it's happened for BCS now too. The information where them put now that documents there, now true information. Even though the person do it on his own, but not true information. So, hold on, guys. Let me just try and do some notification here. I think I get people the way they try for make able to send the link to them. I will do it right now. First, I did do it now Facebook. Then I go do it now. Let me see. Facebook. All right. Yeah. So, it's very important for America we able to discuss this. And I want for, as we all know, this program is an interactive program. Let me just give a quick information if you want to be part of the program. What thing we get for do today, we get for look at certain things them about this. If you want to be part of the program, all what you need for do is send your comments now the comment section of the platform where you watch this program from, and it's only I will only read down during live broadcast. After the live broadcast, you send comments. I'm not able to respond because not to live broadcast. That's number one. Or if you really want for come in for say something, all what you need for do is just call this number. In fact, let me make sure that number is on right now. Yep, the number is on now. So just call 480-409-4001. That's not the broadcast phone number that one day. So these are some of the things where you be part of the program. Now, on Thursday, when I received this message, this what we call the governor call currency redenomination. Currency redenomination. Oh, okay. I think I get hold on. Let me see now how I go. Yeah, I get All right, now just give me 1 minute. Let me just send this to this notification to some of my friends. Then we probably want to be part of this entire discussion today. This is now a very important discussion. We are really want for make we all sit down and work on that and discuss that and see the implication behind that. And the debate is going on right now, social media, and it's going to go on until that money come, and we begin to use that money in us alone and see what are the effects. But what I want to do right now, hold on, guys. Let me just finish here. Got a lot of groups then we they share this. So this now social media, Facebook. Okay, I don't. The problem here is, well, not a problem. Let me back up a little bit and make sure I don't want for prejudge yet, because what I want for make we do first. Let we listen to the governor himself, where the interview about this. Na 98 democracy radio station at Freetown. After we don't listen, then we all the start for discuss waiting at the effect, waiting at the implication on this particular thing. So now we listen to the governor, the interview.
No, Kentina is saying a fake. Now I don't know which you get for simple. There will be a new Leone for 2 Leones, which will be 2,000 now. Then we'll get a 5 Leone note when at 5,000. We will get a 10 Leone note when at 10,000, and we will get a 20 Leone note where it will be 20,000. For make people they're not confused, we they keep the design of the old notes and the new notes the same. So if you see that green new note, you will know say this is not the 10 new Leone's note, which is equivalent to 10,000 Leones. Which value this gets? What do you mean? One, it will reduce the transaction cost where households and business people they go through for care money go. It will reduce the risk. You go in a bank now, many people they tell we say then go in a bank, then they're afraid for let them come out with all that money, then they fall at them. So that will reduce the risk of those things. But more importantly, it will provide a psychological boost. That's what has happened when countries then don't redenominate. It provides a psychological boost to the people of the country saying, with economy the better. And therefore, they will work hard to make it happen. And if all of those things happen, then the gains that we have made so far will continue. As I said, we will begin. One of the first things we have been want to do as government, not for redenominate. We are not been for able to do them in a time when there was rampant inflation, when we didn't get fiscal indiscipline, government did just spend money. I had to put all of those things in check before I believe that the time is right. And the hoarding of Leone also created an incentive because it became unsustainable. And the charter plane for bring money spent a lot of money as a kind of loss. We cannot continue this. So now when they get new Leones, you will don't go keep the old Leone, you go face and count. Governor, when we look at the dollar rate as it is, $100 now almost 1,080,000 Leones in the market. This plus further inflation issues, whose role this new money will play? The number of zeros where you get on the money, we economists will just call a numeraire. And I just, you can reduce the number of zeros or you can add the number of zeros. What thing that determine the value of a currency is the productivity of the people of that country. Now, when we do redenomination, what thing don't happen in other countries is that when you redenominate, people, the psychological feel say their money get value. And therefore, they are going to behave in a way where the currency will appreciate initially. But if you not keep sound economic policies, if you not keep the productivity of the country up, you will go back to I believe say this is not the right time for let us do this because mining is coming up. There is quite a bit of investment in agriculture going on and all of that stuff. We're going to reduce our demand for foreign currency for bring in rice and other things. And so this is not the right time. When some people will see this new money come to the market, when we're ready. How soon we're not going to? The law say we forgive the country at least 90 days notice. When we're ready, we will announce the money will come on this day. But we don't get a specific day as it is. And it don't make sense for that, I tell you now. What's in the process is then I will not be on now for change this money. We don't make the order, so let them print them and print the coins. How soon will we see the coins? You want to ask the same question in many ways. I am not going to tell you that. It don't make sense for that, I tell you. When we're ready and we want to inform the public, we will say on this so and so will they begin the conversion. But for now, it's not wise. Just as it's not been wise for that, I haven't talked about this something already.
All right, that's the bank governor, Professor Kelfala Kalon, be talking inside that interview to Musa Kamara, who said the top state the bank they open up for.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's now Professor Kalon. We when they talk now one interview now Radio 98 Democracy in a salon. But if we not listen within the professor when they talk, you go realize there is a problem. There is a problem. Well, the problem is not the redenomination itself. Now the problem there. The problem there within the intent, the objectives of this particular redenomination where they can do. As we all know, not just alone begin do currency redenomination, right? One thing where I want for that we pay attention very, very clearly, very, very closely. The professor say the most impact of currency redenomination get for do with psychology of the people of that country. The psychology. In fact, in one of in statement with the BBC, he used one word where he said illusion. Now that word he used, he said illusion. What does that mean? Well, first of all, let me do the presentation. Actually, let me do the presentation. Let me bring in the presentation. Let's look at that. Then I will do my commentary. All right. Okay. Let me remove. All right. Now, we know say the governor been don't talk fair in they can do currency redenomination. The Leones, the Leones, if they can't try for decimalize the 0000. If they try for pool the 00s. For example, right now I think the highest is 10,000 leons, right? We get 1,000, we get 10,000, and we get 5,000, we get 2,000. So, waiting the professor one for can do, he one for can remove the 00, then the 1,000 leons now becomes 1 leon. The 10,000 leon now becomes 10 leons. And he been talk back say he want for do coins. Now let me look at the pros and cons. But before we do that, what's actually na currency redenomination. And when we talk about currency redenomination, this is the definition according to the Economist. This now the recalibration of the country's currency, typically due to hyperinflation and currency devaluation, whereby the currency is exchanged for a new one at a fixed rate. Now, this definition gives you one of the factors where they warrant a redenomination. One of the factors get to do with hyperinflation. Actually, it's supposed to be the most important factor by any currency redenomination, hyperinflation. Now, there are three factors actually which necessitate a currency redenomination. And one of the factors we just don't talk when hyperinflation, now a term where a rapid, excessive, out of control prices increase in the economy. And sometimes the inflation can increase up to 50% per month. Okay, 50% per month when the inflation is out of control, and normally the increase they go 50% per month. I don't think say we don't reach this stage now with economy. Yes, do we have inflation? For sure. The country gets inflation. Yeah. Your comments, I get for read you on a comment after the presentation, so now continue for put on a comment, okay? Okay. Like I said, the hyperinflation is the most important aspect of currency redenomination. And most time, when the inflation they go up to 50% per month, that's the warrant redenomination. So the psychology of the people then go feel say, well, I will go panify psychology actually, but this is one of the most important factor for that hyperinflation. Sierra Leone, as you hear from the very mouth of the bank governor, he said when it took over after the SLPP come to power, they appoint him, the country been they go under so many problems. The economy been they go so many problems, including inflation, then out of control spending. So it be one for doing before, but it get for whole because for make the economy and the inflation stabilize. And it talks saying right now, the inflation according to him, and the government spending it they go downwards. I don't know what in that mean downwards, but this now from in your mouth. So the hyperinflation way for be the prerequisites for make currency redenomination happen. This is not count at all when it comes to Sierra Leone. All right, we go to the second one. The second one where we call currency union. What does this mean? Now, when a country want for join a currency union, for example, the West African monetary zone, we will get na Salone, we don't know how it go. So if Salone for being want for join that currency union, because of the value of the leons, then we do a currency redenomination for make the able for the with the currency we want for join, like for example the ones or the euro, if you want for join them in a day. So that it also warrants for make we do redenomination. And the third one where I think say based on the governor himself, what he talk, the third one it get for do with the psychology or political aspect of this implementation. And what thing that this mean? The governor himself explain briefly on that. Now, right now, we get the leons. Now we compare around with the dollar. We are the most dominant currency in the world. Now we compare around with the dollar. The $1 is about 10,000 leons. Okay, the $1 is about 10,000 leons right now. Okay, now you go see like Ghana, the leon CD, Ghana CD, I think about 660 CD equals to $1. I think so, or 6 CD equals to $1. So when they look at the comparison between the Sierra Leone and Ghana or even Gambia, you will begin to get psychologically say, well, Ghana the money is valued than Sierra Leone multiple times, or Gambia the money is valued more than Sierra Leone because they value money based on the exchange rates where that money they give you in the forex or foreign exchange rate. You understand? So with this kind of psychology, even though realistically not true at all, but because we get this feeling for say yes, oh, we currency now, for example, now if we that money they come $1 leone, now it's $1 for $1. The value is still 10,000 leons, right? 10,000 leons. But when we look at that and compare that to the dollar, now $10 equals to $1. $10 equals to $1, not so. So it means we don't reduce like a lot of psychological value into the dollar. Now we feel say from 10,000 leons to 10 leons, that is very, very great. So psychologically, now so would they feel, and because of that psychology, we will begin behave in a way where we will feel say we money a value. But the reality here, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's an illusion. Correctly, like within the governor say, an illusion. It's not realistic. Because you know what? The value of money in any country is not determined by the government alone. The value of any money in the country is determined by the productivity of that country there. How much you produce and export. Now, in they look at the value of a money and determine whether the leone supposed to be at par with the dollar or the euro or the pound sterling. And if we produce more and start for export more, well, the more they export, the more foreign currency they come at the country. The more foreign currency they come at the country, the more the dollar or that foreign currency they so let me hold on. Let me just put myself in here also. You see, so the more exports a country do, the more the foreign currency they come in. And the more foreign currency in the country, the less demand for that foreign currency there. And this is me not to economist, me not to economist at all. But this is basic economics. What are the basic rules of economics? The more produce you get, the more product you get, the less the demand, and that's the able determine the value of that product is. So now the same thing with the dollar. You understand? The same thing with the dollar. If we get a lot of foreign currency inside the country, the foreign currency they fall because it is too much. Basic principle of economics: demand and supply. Very simple, not so. So the redenomination not a solution at all. You know. Now we're able to foresee the pros and cons of this particular effort by we bank governor. So we will start with the pros. As we also say, one of the benefits of currency redenomination get to do with the psychology of the people. You understand? The psychology of, if the people they think say the money is value, then they behave that way then. If the people then think say we money no value, then they behave negatively. So, but this one, because we want to influence the psychology of the people. You understand? And the problem here is, the problem with this in the 21st century is that it's not go easy for make a government able for influence the psychology of the people, for make them influence how the people then they behave. And you know, the human psychology is immeasurable. It is unpredictable. I will tell you one thing today. 1 hour later, I will tell you another a different thing. So the psychology of human beings are unpredictable. So for somebody for try for influence the psychology of people, now a very, very, very difficult thing. I not say it's not possible, but it's very, very difficult. Let me give you an example. Zimbabwe begets hyperinflation at the country after, you know, let me just give you a brief history of what happened during the time of the late president Robert Mugabe. You understand? So when Robert Mugabe came to power in the 80s, in Britain, they make an agreement. As we now all know, Robert Mugabe, Zimbabwe, been fought a war with the white colonial powers, where predominantly na British people, you know, na Britain and then kind then South African area then they can occupy. So Zimbabwe was also occupied by the same British people. Then take the land. Now then they do farming. Now then they produce you know, the food way Zimbabwe. It was called Rhodesia, where they eat. So the very indigenous people, they're not being get farming again. They're not being get land for farming again. So become extremely poor. Now it precipitate the rebel war where Robert Mugabe been lead. So after he came to power, they elect him. So the British government, because you know, say the British government always they look for their own people, irrespective of whose side they, you know. So the British government, they make an agreement saying enough for take the land from the white people, the white farmers them for 10 years. I know say I deviate a little bit, but I just give you an example. For 10 years, Robert Mugabe agree on that. After 10 years, Robert Mugabe not take the land. Almost 20 years, Robert Mugabe tell the British, say, well, the agreement will be made. Now 10 years, now almost 20 years they go. So it is time for them are able to fulfill the promise where I've been promised. Me people them way I've been in the bush. The British then say, no, not for doing at all. Robert Mugabe say, I will do it. So because Robert Mugabe they take now the land from the white people them and give them to the blacks, the one that we've been getting land in them, the British put sanction, crippling sanction on Zimbabwe. So because of the sanctions, then the country begin get some kind of hyperinflation where they may get 1 trillion Zimbabwean dollar, 1 trillion notes because of the hyperinflation. So when you look at that, you know, say they mean in a very desperate situation. It was necessary for America to do currency redenomination. A currency gets 1 trillion note, 1 trillion note. I'm not kidding. Go check. I believe so they still get that note, the 1 trillion note, like when we get 10,000 leons. So then get 1 trillion Zimbabwean note. So it was necessary because the economy was going to the gutter. So then begin do the redenomination. Then do it 4 times. It not work. So they end up for waiting. Because the reason not to make it not work, because there are certain factors then where the redenomination were able for you know, slow down a little bit so that you go able for deal with their factors then they, which is production, local production. and export, But Zimbabwe not able for export most of the things them we been they get. Therefore, the money been they go down, but it not work at all. So the psychology of the people in the 21st century is almost difficult for make you able influence, especially now the information age like social media. Just look at after the announcement, the kind debate where they go on a social media. So right there, it don't be an impediment if the bank governor or the government of Sierra Leone, now the main important thing is for making it will influence Sierra Leoneans, for making them feel say the money is powerful. This is not going to work. And besides, the bank governor say the inflation is going downwards, the expenditure is going downwards. So why you not been doing when the inflation is going upwards, where it probably necessary? Now that you say the inflation is going down, the expenditure is going down, you did do them. But yet still, we not do much about how for boost with production at the country. So this is not going to work at all. It's not going to work. Now, to me, the solution here is, first of all, if they're able to convince people, then for make them believe that illusion, then good luck. I'm all for it. Because what all we try for look at, we want for make the country then get good economy, not so. Not to say I totally disagree with the bank governor. I just feel same. Then put the cart before the horse. You understand? Then they put the and this not all this one animal. Since when the SLPP can have power, most of the things when they do, then they put the cart before the horse. And sometimes they come up fine at all. And the same thing with this when they do so. What thing they're supposed for don't do first before even then they bring that this, because this guy for cause a lot of confusion. You understand? Therefore, we don't put the modalities for make the country able for boost production, the local production first. After they don't put them modalities, then they together, they no say yes, the local production don't begin come up. Then, if they want for do redenomination, then go able for do them. But number one, they not try for boost the local production at all. When not the permanent solution. Now, then they can put this redenomination. And they tell you one thing, and probably it no go take 6 months. Then go tell you back say we need for put one more zero. Remember, we've been doing this in 1964. I don't know if people they know about that. Past way I begin doing research for this broadcast now. I realize Sierra Leone actually been do currency redenomination in 1964. Yes, I know saying a surprise to most of we because we'll not even get that now with history book. But we did. You understand? We did. So based on that, there is a precedent for saying until you boost production, the best way for stop hyperinflation is for making you able to boost production so that you're able for export more than you do import. So that's, in my own opinion, now the best way. But then go do and just know, yes, 1 Leone is equal to 1,000. But to be honest with you, what they call a 1,000. The value might be 1,000, but we still they call a 1 Leone. There is no way we will call a 1,000. The value might with the think same. With the think same, the value is 1,000 leones. But mathematically speaking, technically speaking, it is not 1,000 leones. It is $1. It's $1. Very, 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 very simple and straightforward. And within this local way and call, now we don't wipe off all the value of the dollar. We don't wipe it off from 10,000 leons to 1 leon. To 10 leons, sorry, to 10 leons. So we don't wipe off that, but that's temporary. That's not temporary. In 6 months' time, we will begin calling 100 leon instead of 10,000 leons. Then another 10 months or 6 months' time, we go one for put another, because the inflation is still continue for growth. As long as we're not able for resolve the cost of the inflation or the cost of the economic problem that the country is still gonna go up. It doesn't matter. It just like you get a boil. What see they do for cure this boil? You go take plaster, you put on top of the boil. Did it cure the boil? I don't know, but I don't think so, because there is something in that boil where you need for pull. And how you go pull them? You therefore cut the boil, you pull the tough from that boil them. Then now it is necessary for put a plaster na the so foot, because the tough now the boil don't come out. Now the same thing with the governor they try to do so. The governor, on the contrary, in they try for in they try for put plaster first at the boil, then with the hope say that plaster they go able for drain all the tough na the boil. I don't know if it work. Now let we go to the comments. Ajibujalo, all of this is much to do about nothing. 10,000 leon can buy you 10 loaf of bread. With the change, 10 loaf of bread now costs 10 leons. No difference. Mr. Governor is wrong about the psychological effect. If I used to be paid 2 million leons per month, the new note will recalibrate my monthly salary to 2,000 leons per month. Workers will not welcome that psychologically. Also, if the balance in my savings account was 7 million, that will change to 7,000. I am not sure consumers will be happy. Mr. Ajibujalo, thank you very much for this. This is exactly what we try to talk about. The psychology where this government or this governor they try for implement or try for make on the people, probably in this 21st century, they will get a reverse psychology. And somebody don't call me. Somebody who they do business as alone. They call me, then days after this come out. He was very worried. The person was very worried. Waiting the person, they try for find out. Okay, you get 7 million, for example. Let me just take good and collapse. You get 7 million in a bank. Now, all of a sudden, you 7 million don't turn to 7,000 leons. Or 70,000, whatever they want for me. But that's not just an example. Psychologically speaking, you go feel say the bank don't cheat you. Not so. 7 million, 7,000. Nobody psychologically will go take 7,000 for 7 million. Psychologically speaking, nobody know the way will take that. You understand? And you do that now a country where get about 60% illiteracy rate. That man waiting in a village, we don't use for all 7 million leons. You know the differences between 7 million leons and 7,000 leons. You go in, you go give 7,000 leons, you say, oh yeah, this is not 7 million. When I see the implication where we try to talk about, right? One of the things where this government supposed to be done do before ever them begin make this term. for before, and unfortunately, the governor said they already order the money, and based on investigation, they don't print the money already. The money is already been printed. What is they're supposed to be done do? Then people are supposed to be done first do public education. You understand? Let them put on the public. Make the public start for understand first and see what are the benefits and the counter benefits of this particular stuff. After probably a year or so, people don't realize and don't weigh the pros and cons of this, then it will be easy for them just make some kind of a snap polling for make them see how. Remember, Ghana do this I think in 2007, and then do it in 1967 also. 2007 we didn't do them. Up till now, Ghana is facing problem because people are still confused. The old money, the new money, waiting at the value, waiting at this, waiting at that. Up till now, Ghana get that problem there. You understand? They don't know who's them there. So the first thing, therefore, we not put the donkey in front of horse, because this is a kind of a donkey game. Therefore, we not put the donkey in front of the cat first. Then the donkey will able draw the cards for make things go before. This is where the problem is. For we not like we instead of them go spend money, because first of all, now March, according to what I understand, now March can just don't print new notes. March, this past March, based on what I understand, now in them print, and when they print, according to him, the bank governor, every time you print money, very, very expensive. Now millions of dollars you get for spend for print money. If you know, say, you been get intention for this, why that money will you take for go print the old note? Why you not for being done use that money there? First, you hold on and try for do education, try for educate the people them, for make them see what are the effect of this, what are the benefits or what are the pros and cons of this. After you satisfy yes, the people are willing to embrace this, then for use that money where you take for go print the old stuff and print the new one. But now you don't go print the new stuff, the old stuff with that money there. Then now you go print the new one. So now the confusion is where the confusion get for them. Now both the new and the old get for them in circulation. You get 10,000 leons naira. You get 10 leons naira. You get 1,000 leons naira. You get 1 leon naira. Which one way people then they use? Which one? No, to be fair, which one way the people then they use? So then therefore use the 10,000 way and don't use up to now, right now. Where they tell you say psychologically 10,000 leons is not 10 leons. Psychologically speaking, 1,000 leons is not 1 leon. 1 leon is 1 unit, right? 10,000 leons. Now how many units? 5 units. Mathematically speaking. So even though you go feel say well the value is the same, but no, the units are not the same. And this is the point. This is the confusion where people don't get for can get. You go give 10,000 leons to somebody in a village and you give 10 leons. The person will not understand the differences at all in value. That person it will prefer for use the 10,000 leons because to psychologically it bigger than the 10 leons. This is the problem where the bank governor get forget. Now let me go back to the comment. Ajibujalo say very correct, Mr. Moderator. The production level and amount of money in circulation within the economy. Now let me go to George. Thank you, Mr. Moderator, for this sensitive program. Let's say someone had to pay you 1 million leones, upon paying you, he or she comes and give you 1,000 leones. That will be fighting in the country. So much controversy and confusion within this government and the citizen. This is just waiting. I just talk, Mr. George. Thank you very much for that comment. Now, confusion. The problem with this government is they don't know the tail from the head. They don't know where is the tail, where is the head when they do things. Then they take the tail, they misunderstand for head. Then they misunderstand the head for the tail. Now we call putting the cart before the horse. This is exactly now in the go. And that make, if you look at this government today, with all the boku talk, with all the ribbon cutting, with all the things that they do, they resonate with the people. They resonate. To be honest with you, they resonate at all. And this is not just one example, my brothers and sisters. Say, people, their money, they play with them, their money. We get millionaires. That's alone today. We get millionaires and that's alone to them. And they go tell them millionaires, then they say they are no longer millionaires. Somebody will get 1 million, na bank, in a millionaire. Now you call that money to us. 10,000 euros. Na feto, na fet. Na confusion, no? Na confusion. So now that make it was very necessary for, first of all, we do a massive education before you begin bring them counter, before you go spend millions and millions of dollars for print them kind money, where probably you come with them, they're not going to make any dent to the economy. They're not going to able from change the psychology. In fact, based on what's right now, the more they think about this in this 21st century, the psychology will be negative. The people then will get negative psychology. And now, you don't go print this money. You don't go print them. I believe, say, waiting, I've been here, probably the money day. They're not just there in circulation yet. The money day. They don't print the money day. So, but since the law give them 90 days, and in 19 days, no more than they wait. The money day. They don't print already. How you go able able for influence the psychology of people in a positive way in this short period of time? How? I sent $10,000 as alone almost. That 100 million leons. Forget about the value for us. Because the value, now people like we will educate, now we more they think about the value. Waiting the people that then they think about, now the decimal point, now then they think about. Then they look at it in a mathematical way, you understand? You get 100 million. Almost, after that money they come, almost they get 10 million. 10 million euros. Well, at least he's still a millionaire. But your money, your money don't go down. It don't cut 90%. You know. So if you want to be part of the comments, if you want for give your comment, just put the comment now the comment section of the platform where you watch. Yeah, we they read that then comment then they. Or if you want for call in and try for ask question, this now the number is 480-409-4001. The number again 480-409-4001. So, like I said, the main purpose of this particular effort where the bank they do now for influence the psychology of the people. So them will think positive about their currency, about their money, right? That's not the psychology, not the intended outcome. Okay, fine. If the government able to influence people, then we are all for it, because we want for make money value. But realistically speaking, it has nothing to do with the value of the money. It has nothing. You can put 0.1 when are less than 1. Still, the inflation they continue. I they give up 1 year. If this government no try for resolve the factors where they make the inflation for go up, would they begin put 0 then again? Professor Kalon probably not going to be the next governor in the near future. Probably in the next 2 years. After that, he will no longer be the bank governor. Because what I understand in the first place, based on the investigation we had made, there are people who within the government will not even let Professor Kalon. It's too bureaucratic. So, all right, Michael D. Williams, will there be a cutoff date to the use of the old note? No, Mr. Williams, the governor will not announce any cutoff date. And it will be very difficult for that, because first of all, the reason why to make the bank governor want for make the two currency use, they use them simultaneously. They don't know. Remember, what I talked in my presentation earlier. The most important thing based on the governor and even based on the economists, currency redenomination is more of psychological than realistic. You understand? So they don't know. You're not able to measure the psychology of human beings. This is the biggest problem even psychologists then get. You're not able to predict the psychology of people then. Are they going to accept this money or not? This is the problem. We right now, if the people then say, okay, I get 1 million leons. This one I get almost 100,000 leons. The 1 million, even though probably the value is the same, but the 1 million will prefer your money than the 100,000 leons. Okay, but again, and I'm talking in the context of the illiteracy rate in the country. You understand? We don't know like what they talk so value versus units versus this. They don't know about that. So there is no cutoff date. So we are going to get so much confusion within the next couple months when this money come in, then begin use them up to probably several years, because even now Ghana still facing them kind of problems than they up to now. So no cutoff date, but what they tell you, they don't print the money anyway. They don't print the money. Within I understand them print the money earlier than within then they try to tell you. It's terrible, right? So what happened if the SLPP come out to 2023? What happened? Then the inflation rate is still continuing to grow. The next governor or the next government, therefore force time for make it begin put another 0, maybe 2-0. So we don't come to the same situation where we did right now, because we don't want for bust the boil for make we pull the tough. for make we able cure the problem. Instead, we go begin put Vaseline, put plaster, with the hope saying the ball will go away. Because if people then think say we money don't value, which probably we would think so, probably. But remember, this is the 21st century. We have competing ideas. You do something, another person can counter them. So now you left the people them for make them wonder which one will not the correct one, which one. So it is very difficult for make you able to influence the psychology of people today, because there are so many resources where they were able to tap into. It was easier in 1964, where we've been doing a redenomination, because the source of information was very limited at that time. Not everybody be knows for say there was a redenomination in 1964. Me myself we talk to now, so I'm not be know until when I begin to do the research. Now I realize say, oh, Sierra Leone been doing in 1964. Will not be known. It's not even there. I don't know. I don't see any history book. So you see, the psychology of people then is different from today. At that time, what in the government they talk, the final, not so. Now, in people and they wouldn't call, because somebody within Abu, you don't know what in they happen now, McKinney, somebody within McKinney, you don't know what in they happen now, na Freetown. Somebody within a Freetown, you don't know what in they happen na Kabbalah or Kono. It take months sometimes for make information flow around. Today, na milliseconds for information for flow around. So the sources of information is so vast that if you want to influence the psychology of people, you get for redefine. You get for redefine within an influence. Okay. Now let we go to Mr. Okay, I think Nauma Rama Koma. Wow, this is a big problem. I don't know why they embark on change the money into small amount. My sister, now a big problem. I think I was so disappointed when a professor we don't teach for, I don't know, if not to 20 years, now American Professor Kalon, many years, if not to 20 years, but decades. I don't know, Professor Kalon is about 70-something years old. Or so. I don't know. But irrespective of that, the man we don't teach for many years. And one of the things we know, theory and practical experience are two different things. Yes, we know same. Theory is the initial stage of experience. You theorize something and you test them. When you test them, it could not be the way you theorize them. So you redefine them. So what they see right now at this 24th century is we are trying to experiment how this redenomination work in the context of William country. If the professor we know say we get hyperinflation, that was the time when if we don't do this. But by in your confession, he say they don't try for stabilize inflation at the country, and now it's going downwards, or at least it's slowing down. And we all know say it's slowed down. Okay, every country inflation is something where are inevitable. I think the problem is hyperinflation, and hyperinflation when the country they experience inflation 50% every month. It they go up 50% every month. That is where the danger is. This is where it is necessary for do some of them kind efforts away the bank they try for do. Not to when you self don't confess, at least when I don't slow down inflation by the country, now the 10 way they do this. Hey, me not an economist. I'm not got no degree in economics. So I just they talk, but based on me basic economic classes where I take, probably in a high school, and the research where I don't make after this thing come in, within certain theses and dissertations and research notes where I don't see based on this particular topic. Now, based on that, now they talk about now. So, no hold me for that. And no, I don't want to make people then think say we are totally 100% against this. We are not. I am not in particular. But the problem here is we are putting the cart before the horse. If we don't put the modalities where they resolve the problem of inflation at the country, then after we know now for see all the foundations that we necessary for productivity and other things for boost the economy, then we put down this. It will be very easy because now by the time when the people then they accept this, the money they stable. But you know resolve the problems of inflation, you know resolve the problems of the economy, then you can't put this. While you know say for sure, the professor knows say this is going to continue upwards. Again for continue. Now waste of money. We waste money too much and then can't hear. And this is where my problem is. That is my problem. This is where I think say the professor make mistake. The governor or the central bank, they make mistake. And I believe say the bank will not do so no more without consulting the government. So they rope in the government into that. Because if the economy bad in the country, it's the fault of the government. If the economy good in the country, it's the credit of the government. So there is no way where the bank governor would do something without the consultation of the government. I know say this na collaboration with the finance ministry. I know that. So the government is thick and thin into this. Probably not the engraveyard this. If this no work, because you know what, Sierra Leone has solution they need. Not to psychology. Sierra Leone is not interested in psychology. They are interested in solutions. So if you don't get solution, you want to come bring psychology, it will backfire by you. And I know Solomon. If you do things, it go right, it's okay. But when it go bad, you are in big trouble. Even if now with good intention, you are in big trouble. So now the same thing with this. If this no work, the next 1 year, you forget a negative impact on this government. You understand? You can forget big impact on this government. I don't know if Madabio is still in a Turkey. I don't know what they go do in Turkey. But I'm saying a private something. I don't know. That's fine. But this is something where probably they not think about the reaction of the people there. Or they don't think about the implications of the people there. We don't want stress again because this now another stress they can't put at the country and to the people there. So so yeah, Bashiru, you just say that's my issue. So are you saying what are the time for talk now? Your issue or what? What them call more? You see, Solomon. Bashiru. You hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah. So you say what are your issue with this denomination? Redenomination.
So it's not a denomination itself, right? It's that when you change something, which you're going to deal with for over half a century, right? It's near you two. You are always the barometer they use. It's near you two. We are considered we educated, are confused about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Waiting left with go Boake na Boibu,
Yeah.
or Pass Antiki, okay, na Mapoti. How then we deal with them? If near you two were educated, we're confused, right?
Mm.
Ghana announced the denomination in 2006, right?
Mm-hmm.
For 2007.
Yep.
A year ahead. They announce that, and they do a lot of education and PR thing.
Yep.
Okay. And I will send this thing. Something to do 13 years later, which was done about 3 years ago with Ghana. Wait and go back, just survey on people. About 40% of Ghanaians are still struggling with the new exchange.
Exactly.
They still use the old exchange for reference to the new exchange. Right?
Yep.
So forget the denomination, because I think most will not get caught up in that. Because if you caught up in that, then you miss there's some advantage to denomination. Right? There's some advantage to it.
Yep.
But whatever the advantage is, you need time for educate the population before you introduce them. To make the minister, first of all, go. Okay?
Mm.
And say this is imminent. Sorry, that's about the minister, the grand governor. To me, a border on irresponsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Irresponsibility, I don't know if in next month, September, on October, on November. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to get specific dates in the future. Hopefully, don't say, starting this November, October, whatever it is. October, will they switch to this? You get me?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
So there's a specific date. So banks are ready. People pay on payroll, government payroll, or even regular payroll, right?
Mm.
I need to know the person on payroll needs to know, say, that you will be able to pay you 10 million for. Going forward, at least at the beginning, they pay you start so 10. You get me?
Yeah, yeah.
When you left are so ambiguous and you say it's imminent, what's the rush? I'll ask anybody, what's the rush? What's the rush when me to know? Take politics out of this. Take SLPP, APC business out of it, because even I also APC will try to run with this and try to make politics out about that. Take politics out of it.
Yep.
Let's just take simple responsibility. It has changed something where some of, I say 50 years, some of who were born less than 50 years, the only two know at least exchange now know. They go up or they go up, now we know. Right? I know it's 100,000 what? I know to goods and service a what? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for make you educate people about the trans, it needs time to educate people. And again, I say this is things I say internally and to people. I hope there's some national sensitization or education that maybe I'm missing, I not see. But it seems like this is being rushed with no. Before last week, you been about this thing last week.
Yeah.
This is not been on the news last week. It was not known.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago it was not known. This was not in the news, right?
Yeah.
If you don't print this already, that means you've planned it. If you don't plan it, what you make, and now you tell people them, and you tell it's imminent.
Well, let me tell you what happened.
Let's not know when this is going to affect, right? So,
yeah.
If I get people on payroll, I get for pay, right? I don't get any way for staff for education and say that 10 million they pay you now 1 million now this and that. I don't know that right now, right? People have to be educated before you affect this. It's not a denomination that's the problem. It's that, to me, the lack of education to the people is really my biggest problem with this thing.
Well, let me show you. Let me tell you, based on the investigation where I conduct from where this thing come, for make I able to understand. You know what happened? You know what happened with the census issue that Bruha had during the time of the census, where they don't go do everything without even going to parliament. Later now, they can begin to show them the law for say now this, now that, now the same mistakes they do. So the central bank they don't go in, they may not go put in for this this particular redenomination money for printer. You understand? They don't go put in for them. They don't print the money. Actually, the money they don't print already.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't print the money already. So I think say now later on they can begin with them concept. Hey, there is law. You got to follow the law. You understand? You get for follow the law.
Yeah.
And now, they come up with this boom. Automatically, for making them able for satisfy the law no more. But it was too late. It was too late because the money that they not put the money.
Okay, let's take semantics out of it, right? Even if it's too late, right? Take as it's too late, right? You're able to do there's a political maneuvering that you can do. Say too late now, don't print out, right? Make I go to parliament, make them put a fine. See all that, right? Not to the political out of her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you do that, there is a part that's a responsibility for educate the population before you effect this. You get up. I don't know if you understand that to me, because the people are going to use regular people are going to use this. Census is a little bit different, right? Now count you can't people in, but this now every day,
yeah.
They chop on you the pool. They affect you chop on you somebody the pool. Now,
yeah, this is very, very serious. This is very serious.
It affects the labor. When we go call job today, I may get $100,000 for that call job. Now I know see that $1 million for that call job day. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Which is that $1 million what? To see Niata where they sell pepper na matches where they sell pepper for 20 leons, 30 leons, or 1,000 leons. Okay, you go from 1,000 leons to 10 cents. Okay? What did I want to see Niata?
Nothing, absolutely. Nothing, absolutely. When you look at well, James Kenneth Kanu from London saying was Parliament and the people of Sierra Leone consulted? What is the constitutional procedure before amending the national currency? James, what I understand, and I don't read nothing into that. This based on the governor himself. He said there was.
I just want to just project for factor.
Okay. Okay. So the governor himself, according to what he said that we passed a law in 2019. He said that we passed a law in 2019 where the governor for making able to print this, but he get to inform the people them 90 days before it ran. Well, if that is the case, first of all, it don't violate the law, because if in 90 days before ever you do this, then you don't grab, you don't go take money, you don't go spend already. Now you can't tell me say, oh yeah, like this I don't do. So I give you 90 days.
Michael, I hear you, but these are the things that we can do sometimes. These technicalities of the law, you get me? I think that we can do. All they miss the main point of which it affects people then. Now if you make sure that even as effective communication, political communication without the Nissan. You get me?
Yeah.
The technicality of the law, that is for people in the parliament. Me uncle, we did na the village.
You know care about that.
About that technicality.
You care about.
Yes, they're affecting life, right? So if you point to the technicality, you miss the point. Because to me, right? Yes, if you don't go na parliament, if you don't allow you for change money, or even president, and parliament for allow you for change money, right? What make we say we miss that point, right? Fine, we miss that. But Marcus, there's a responsibility for the economy. Because I'm going to tell you right now, today, as I tell you, almost all the money I get in Leone's in Salon, I'll change into dollar. I'm effectively doing that.
Oh yeah, you need for that.
It's going to cause a huge shock to the economy. It's going to cause a huge shock to the economy. We're already seeing it. If you do business in Salon right now, you see them. You see them right now. If you do business in Salon, you see them. It's going to cause a huge shock to the economy. Ghana, where Ghana do this, 2007. Ghana do this, and it's not to really understand, right? They're gonna do it. It's a one cedi to $1, and they peg them to, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, $1 to cedis now in Ghana. $1 to about 4 cedis.
How much?
And at 4 cedis.
Okay.
It's now about 400%. That don't go up.
Yeah, but yeah. And
so forget.
I think the last yesterday when I checked, I think now 6 cedis.
6 cedis now, okay. So
yeah, 6 cedis.
600%.
Yeah.
Right. In 2007 to now about 14 years, you don't go by succeed. That's 600% in that amount of time in 14 years, right? But what happened to Ghana is that when they do that change, the cities drop. That first year, the cities drop over 100%. So once we go back, just in your head, right? Calculation in your head. It goes back to say the salon will be right now in 1 million some change.
Just take 1 million.
No, that's 1 million.
Yeah.
It's just 1 million. What's just 1 million, right? That means the dollar will go to 2 million, 100%, or 2 million automatically. So no matter how you put the money, not put the money, the drop is real. The exchange rate is real. However you change the money, you change the money. It's the value, which is the purchasing power, is what the value of the money is, the purchasing power.
Yep,
right?
exactly.
Because if I get 1 billion, and if they buy me, waiting $100 they buy me, and 2 billion, after 1 year, 2 billion they buy me the same thing, it no matter, not the same effect.
Yeah.
Right? But what you me concerned about, okay? Like I said, you said yesterday, I get money in a salon. Okay, I get money in a bank there in a salon. Okay, not to disclose, I get over 100 million the bank of salon, 100 plus million. And I will tell you what my value for money change next week. And I tell you what my value for my money I get today.
You know that?
Yeah,
right
I'll take 30, and I'll do this stuff here. Forget that shit, right?
Yep.
But me, not so big victim in the sense, the money that me deal with, I can able convert it easily. When you talk to people that they deal with bread and butter, okay, the money they go for job, where they get 60,000 euros.
And now you go get
70,000 euros.
Now you go get 6
Now we are 6 cents. 6 cents.
You go get 60 millions.
But now you not convert that to the math because what is really for effect is the purchase of goods. The purchase is sell pepper. We not international money, so only buy pepper in dollar, right? We need buy your basket. The basket we don't buy in dollar, but who of we think we buy fish, also in dollar.
Yeah.
How the fisherman is telling the man says fish should be sell 200,000 euros. Now that fish they what? 2 euros. Other fisherman they will convert that 2 euros. So even daily bread. That education to me is a part that we are missing here. And I tell you again, I'm not even going to the technicality of it. Because there's so much for point about the technicality of it. Right?
Yeah.
But it's that the simple education. If near you two were I consider we educated, we confused. Imagine what you uncool do in a village, what you actually do in a village right now. Think about that. Which is the sudden day. Because this conversation here, now frito and I day. You know my village too. Now frito and wood they
not no idea. In fact, this conversation, they not get no idea in the villages.
Right. And you go change the money. The people that village get money on like pillow, they don't know that they eat. Right? They don't know when they for go switch them, they go change their money. You don't know that they eat. Okay? That's a big political risk you're taking.
Therefore, we not start this national education 2 years ago.
No. You start now. Listen to me. My daughter. It's not late. You get me? You put the same money, you say, next summer. Okay, next June, next July. You start the education now. You get me?
Yeah, well, they say in 90 days.
We all adjust. You get me? We all don't kind of adjust. Don't expect to say June, money they change, right? So before June, from I would say when I days ago, you say it's not June you go. May, the money I get in that old years at the beginning. If I want to change it now, bank they accept that. Make I go be a change that. They give me the new currency, right?
Yeah.
You softly introduce them, but hey brother, we don't do any of that. You can't introduce. You can't use coins. And by the way, coins cost more money for do coins than it is to do paper money. And like you know, more America be will get rid of nickels because of that. It costs more for printed nickel than it is the value of the nickel itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So you change all the things there. But you know, even at the time for educated people, and as much as this government supports them, You get me? The one big problem I get is this assumption that you the PhD, once I understand, everybody's there for understand. Okay? This is the same problem. I tell politically, the same problem SLPP can get, which is about the level of power. Okay? SLPP puts things in place. Don't Yankaba. Then create NASIT. Okay? Who will not be ever get. Where it creates, also, if you look at a private company, they need for pay into a pension for you, right? Which made to say it's a great program, great. It's going to be happy that you work for a private company for 50 years, so you retire, not checking the account to you anymore, they done. Right? Then create something like that, say the private company you work with need for pay for you.
All right, I just
but guess what they fail, Marcus? They fail for do the same thing for sell out to the people, like for people to understand the value of what they create. It's like the same problem they do. You create something that confuse people, and when they want to talk, you give them back talk. You make anything like APC, SLPP, no more. Every problem, APC, SLPP. You have people like us that are neutral, that are not here. That if I'm confused, waiting at the guy within a village, waiting at in your perspective about this thing.
Yeah, so I just put the Zimbabwean $100 trillion notes. When I look at the $100 trillion notes, Zimbabwe money. So it was necessary for them for make they able to do this and try for cut off some of them boku zeros here. But Sierra Leone, anyway, I agree with you, Bashiru. It's sad. It's very, very sad. Okay, Ajibu Jalo saying nowadays you can bola and get 50,000 leons for them. With the change, get five leons will be almost impossible. How is that for psychological trad fear or governor?
Me, I go back to Michael, I go back to, okay? I'm talking, if it's all the politics part of it, okay? How long is it going to take for that person, okay? The person where you go pay for for come out Wellington for go PZ, right? If you pay 2,000 euros, that driver not say 2,000 euros, they go feed in family, the owner get the motor car, maybe will get in your own, is that right? You go from 2,000 euros to 2 leons. Right? Now that person needs for in your head, right? Because it's a psychological thing that sticks with this. Imagine how long you could take the polar people and people pay transport to make you all adjust to that. By the time they adjust to that, the polar likely will increase price, right? The people pay the long gains with every day price will change because one polar don't change in price, the other are not changing price yet. Is that this is the reason why you need a long term for make people like adjust to say on June 2022 we'll switch to new currency, right? And that new currency day, you start for educate people. Like you start for put sample on TV, sample at the ground. Let people start to sample. I remember specifically. I've been very young, right? I remember when the 50,000 euros come out, 50,000. And I forget the other, I don't know if 20,000 or 50,000 years, right? It is something, I remember that specifically, right? Where the samples then come off us. Because in the little bit NR skipper now is really getting more money than the samples then. I guess that sample of that 50,000 euros, almost 3-4 months before it actually came into existence. The way I get my money in face. I don't know which one, I can't remember specifically, but I get my money in face. But you had samples of that came way ahead before the money actually came into circulation. So you start to see a day on different banks, the banks that they post the new currencies them, on the endorse them, you see them on TV, you see them around. You start to get familiar with them before it comes into existence. Why is this imminent? That's the part that I don't understand. Why is this imminent?
And another, okay, I don't want to go on that side anyway. Okay, Abdul Karim Bundu say, why this government don't inform the public at least 1 year ago? Instead, they go ahead and print the currency before informing the people. That is totally fraud and confusion to the country. Well, now you try for talk now, Mr. Abdul Karim Bundu. The government, they put the cart before the horse. But like waiting Bashiru say, waiting they're supposed for do now, they're supposed for put a hold on that money for distributor right now and try for do a massive education, at least make them like 6 months to a year.
Yes, at least 6 months. At least 6 months. Do 6 months education.
Yeah, so let them do. Then do.
Now you start the effective communication about changing that. Even if you want to say February next year, right? But give some time. But you say, first of all, you say imminent. You don't give time. What the fuck does that mean? When me go know if I just need people and pay, people are on payroll for me, if I just and pay. When I will know that way. You need to let people freaking know. You go to Ghana, and they put on the group right now. Ghana gets specific time. You go YouTube, the same video that Ghana be do education. Everybody knows, say, July 2007, Ghana currency the change. Everybody know that day. You can't even freaking give a date. You never give a date. It's an imminent. Imminent keep it tomorrow.
It's sad, and I hope saying this not get a negative impact, because if you get a negative,
no, there's no hope. You know me, I personally don't believe in hope. I don't believe in hope and prayers. I'm not religious, so I don't believe in prayers or hope. Okay, that's reality. It's gonna cause a problem. It's gonna cause a problem. I don't care.
The problem is already been caused anyway.
You get me? You got me to save you on this. If, like I said, me and you two, what we'll consider, we say we're educated. If we confuse, okay?
Yeah.
If we confuse.
Now, what about the ordinary person within a village?
Because right now, the ordinary people in a village, we may to begin to talk about hundreds of millions, but they're confused, right? Let alone, what you then get, what you then sabi, you can't change that in their hands. Simple top up. What you top up me now? What about me top up? What you mean? What about $100,000 top up? And what value they get? How does affect me now? Simple. You don't even know, right? Oh, then thing is that any time for the people that do top up to make them change their pricing. You get me? There's so many things I need for staff to change their pricing. For many people that do top up, make them begin to say, hey, going forward, 100,000 top up, right? Now 1,000 euros. Like they start to do that education, so you know exactly how it affects you. Well, 100 leons actually. If you take 230, right? 100 leons. I don't know. No, I think that's still. I don't know. I don't care. Either way. Okay, now 1,000 euros, right? Make them really start to do their education from their own side. The business will start to do their education. With price of the sell, rest of the sell 300,000. Okay. Now, not 300, not 3,000 euros. Whatever it is, I don't care. Right? But allow the people to start selling that for them to start to educate their own customer then. Before you can't shove it down their throats and then say, well, I'm not going to figure out how they go.
Yeah, definitely.
Politically, it's a suicide. It's a suicide for any government. Any government. Forget the benefit. Again, we need to argue the merit of this currency. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to that. You get me? Because not only that, because you know you money bullshit. Because you create bigger notes. Okay, forget that shit. That's bullshit. We all know that they are bullshit. Okay, you create bigger notes. If you concern about that, you create $500,000 notes where they break down the equivalent thing they have. We know that already. So that is also not valid reason. Okay?
Yep.
But are you going to educate the people? Because there's a difference when you create a new currency, a bigger note. Because you create a bigger note, somebody will say, okay, now you get 500,000 notes. If I get 5 of the 100,000 notes, right, it means it's 500,000 notes. So when you know that may not get confusion. But when they cannot devalue the money, my brother, there's so many implications that affect it. There's so many things that affect them. Every pricing, therefore affect, therefore change. How you pay for light, therefore change. What is the value of 1 kilowatt of light? What you expect, what you do in your house? You get me? All that is there for change. Just so you take 3 zeros, it's easy. But no, I need to know what's in the value. If I be not say 1 watt, that'll be 500,000 euros. What's in a 1 watt now? At 5 leons, is that I understand all that 3 zeros, but I'm still confused. If I am educated, I consider myself educated, I'm confused. Waiting like the regular person. The man, make them slow down. Take time for educated people and before they introduce this.
I think I agree with you totally. I think it seems like they are very much desperate. It's some to be honest with you, me when I read this, I not ever believe say we will find ourselves and this nonsense where they go on soon. But it seems like they are hiding something that we don't know. Because when somebody
no.
desperation,
See, that's the problem. That's the thing, Makota. That's the thing. Okay, they're not hiding anything. This is not some big secret. Okay.
Well, if they are not hiding something, then why this behavior?
This has been the Achilles heel of SLPP.
Oh yeah,
it's been the Achilles heel of SLPP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll go back to census. Okay. We know say if you decide say you want to get midterm census, you get the vote in parliament for one. Right? You get the vote. If you want to bring a parliament on time, you do one. Easily.
Yeah.
You get me?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not one. Instead, then allow for go into do something kind of illegal force we know the mandate for, and then can't find the mandate. I say this again. We get boku. We take professors there, boku professors, they want all they beyond their life and teacher they teach. They don't ever govern. Okay? They don't ever manage. Because even people managing, we they manage people then. If they manage today, there's a new software that is coming to your job. Makota. I've been in the healthcare field, right? If we change EMR, we change new electronic medical record. Makota, there will be education months ahead before you implement that. There will be, once they implement that, there will be people on site. Continuously, they educate people. Okay, now we go live. Okay, this if you want to find this, I want find the blood pressure. What's go find blood pressure numbers? If I want find this result, what's go find them? So when they teach you that, for say no, nah, look here. Even though you don't take class a month ago, people are still ready. Right? Why? Because you want it to go seamless. You want it to go make bog down the system. But the issue with this government, again, I would say consider myself as a SLPP sympathizer. Okay, the problem where this government gets themselves into, okay, it's lack of communication, and the audacity is that they don't owe anybody for communicate to them.
Yeah.
For example, recent example. Okay, you tell me say, me and you to know say every president entitled to vacation, they're entitled to run. The same way any other civil servant get vacation, the president get vacation, right? You tell me say the president they go for a conference, not England, right? Conference, you get the date for the conference. Now, I think that'll be 25th or 27th. I'm not really, don't hold me on that, but I think that was about the date. If the president have to go on vacation after that, wait to make you communicate and say, the president go on conference, this day to this day. After the conference, the president will take 2 weeks vacation, 3 weeks vacation, whatever it is. You get me? What the heck? Won't you communicate that?
Yeah, that's
every person in America they take vacation. When president will take vacation, we say, okay, what Bush we need? Bush should go to a ranch, not Crawford for vacation. Obama they go Hawaii for vacation. Trump they go New York or you go Florida for vacation. We know that we on vacation, we know that right?
Yeah.
We to make communicate that say the president will take vacation after this conference.
Well, talking about that conference, there is something where Adepa investigate where I don't get 2 people that way tell me similar things, but still I not get concrete. Do you know that after the conference, then give some people the money. Countries the money for make them go continue from, implement the educational programs away, then get at the individual. The only country where they not give money, that's alone.
I don't know about that. Yeah. I would not go into that because that conference was specifically to raise funds. So I don't think it's a fund distribution. It's a raise fund.
Yeah, it's a raise fund and distribute that fund.
It's a raise fund. No, I don't. Michael, hold on. I would say that's not political.
It's not political because this is not going to be political. What can happen?
I try to stay away from the political thing. The same people they say, online
virtual
conference.
A virtual
conference. Yeah, it was virtual conference for some people, but there are certain presidents that were invited to go. Okay,
now all of them.
Now, one of the people, right? So make you tell me, say they raised almost $4 billion in Salon and I will call that a lie.
Okay, here is the thing. Okay, but you get for listening for
sharing money.
Okay, listen for winner. Listen, that money where them raise, they not just raise and then put them. That money they now for make them able for boost the educational programs around the world, especially in Africa. You understand? That's not the reason why the way them go raise that money them. So based on what I understand, the reason what makes Salon not able to get some money yet, that don't mean say they're not able, they get them, then they get them, but yet, because what happened after their presentation, now their slides here, PowerPoint slides, now they go use for present their own experience about education, understand? Then they expect them for make them able to get a documentation of project proposal where I think they're not able for produce that proposal there. So what then go give na the presentation. Now then say no, we need a document. We need
all right. Let me say this again. I'm gonna push back at it. Okay. In a credible report you do, okay. If you do fundraising for the rest of the world, it wasn't just Africa, it was also South America and other places of the world.
Yeah.
You do fundraising for education. That distribution doesn't happen as soon as you do the fundraiser. It doesn't happen. It usually happens after they raise the fund, then you look at needs and requests what countries they make. It doesn't happen because first of all, you don't know how much you raise. So make you say, this happened less than 2 weeks ago, it says I'll not get nothing. To me, that's the same political.
No. I say,
you will not know what your country they get until you base on how much was raised and how much your country they request and how much South America can forget, how much Africa can forget. Then they determine how much your country.
No. I they push back on you. I they push back on you on that. I they push back.
No. For make somebody say will not get any money. That if this is money to go raise now from.
No. Okay. Hold on. All right.
Now Apollo fundraiser, if you raise money no more, they say okay, it's what this.
All right.
If they invite Salon, if Salon is invited to be one of the people who physically the ones one day, okay, it's because we are prominent into what they sell to the rest of the world. We are prominent. I'm not saying they don't give money, but to say, I'm not even willing to don't give anybody money from that fundraiser yet. I would say I will almost put my money on it, not get anybody money yet. You raise some money and you just begin to cut who say what you get. You go back to how much you raise, and from what you raise, you look how much you support different education for every different country. I could not call up to them.
You don't know?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you for pushback. All right. This is how then government here where they raise fund they do. It not mean like me and you where would they go raise fund. We don't know what's not the projected amount of money where would they raise fund. You understand? Not also government they do. Government when they raise fund, for example, you don't mean the military. For example, when they raise fund from Afghanistan, you understand? Then get a projected amount.
Whenever raise fund for Afghanistan, we sponsor Afghanistan directly from Congress.
Hold on. Let me wait. Then get a projected amount of money. We then say now this amount of money now in with the raise, and before them go on the conference, you understand them? Then we don't contact certain countries them. For make them know how much this country you want for give, how much this country you want for give. Then when they go now na the conference call, na then money then they just the road and cause for say then they go na the conference without knowing how much then they raise. No, that's not the individual fundraising you talk about. Not to government fundraising.
I think what you miss that point. So what I think lacking that point, Makota, is that there's a difference between request for help, right? Say would they request money from DFAD or they request money from the US government, right? If they request help from US government, then you have to get specific amount of the request and you put a program in place, and push it forward. You get me? This was a fundraiser. This was not to request specific amount of money.
No, okay.
This was a fun. No, may I finish?
Finish.
Because I'll tell you the same thing. I don't know if you watch that, because I spend my time and watch that stuff. Even when Kenya presents, Kenya not puts money. What is the request? They propose the effects of education to the population, within the education, and the continuous financing of education they do to the economy. That's what they present. The same thing Prince Solon kind of present. The things they don't spend money for so far, right? The effect of it, the effect of within the money they do continuously if we continue the same program in it. Where you get the money, we don't raise the money. The money, like I said, that money wasn't for Africa. There was money for worldwide education support, right? So the Boku country is already partner. So make you go say, it's allowed to the request. That was not how it works.
All right, you don't know.
What you have to right now, man, so like right now, after the raise, what's the raise, right? Now it's when you tell me, then document the way you need for present, for which I propose that you want to help you with specifically. That's when you do that. And I'll tell you, once I let that Salompa, Makota, once I ever that Salompa, nobody knows that this will better pass we for write proposal for project. We write the best proposal at this wall here. We never fucking implement a shit. But they write the best proposal. We have for write proposal for make the sponsor we. But then when the sponsor will not have implementer. So then not never be. I don't care if APC, SAPP. You put we say write proposal for sponsor. Make the sponsor certificate program. The man if they write that proposal, they are supposed to go to give all the money. And they implement.
Okay, you don't know.
Yeah.
I want make you go back when government to government fundraising they take place. Well, researcher maybe next week or anytime when we get chance.
You know, this fundraiser was not just government. This fundraiser was mostly from businesses. It wasn't just government.
It's government to government.
No, this was a lot of business. A lot of business. Most of the money raised for this are businesses then.
Okay.
Most of the money raised for are business then. Now businesses and source of this. Most of the money raised are business then.
Okay. You don't know.
Most of the money raised are business.
Can you just listen to me first? Maybe you will come.
Yeah.
This particular conference mostly na government to government fundraising. Yes, for bringing business that fine, because even when they raise funds for a particular country, sometimes business and they come in and they can't chip in, but mostly na government to government. This particular virtual conference now about government to government for make they able for come the first thing we then do for present waiting and don't do na their own country in terms of education. Now that make you see when you say Kenya, most of the time when they present government they tell you same that this amount of money we they put on this amount of money we want for we program them. That's now a separate meeting. Then get multiple meetings with them to do. The first meeting with them do now presentation on the experiences on how then they implement the educational system. Sierra Leone present in your other countries and then present in your. Then after that, then get another meeting where then get project proposals. Then where they're supposed for if they need more funds for continue for implement them what they call them programs then you understand based on what they tell me. And I don't say most of the things where they say whether not true quickly we put that into politics, but based on what they tell me. this now somebody where they in the conference. That then go. Somebody first tell me about this. I tell and say I dey investigate. So I called yesterday. This person that then go. There was some misunderstanding because they not get the proposal. The proposal was not there. So now the presentation no more than give. So that means they get to go back my salon for go where they call the proposal and send them back before ever then they give them the money. And what can happen based on what I understand about this way and call it before even the conference, then they ask certain countries then where they donate, just like if a government want for this one, for example, WHO or UNHCR, when they do them thing, if not government to government, then they write the government, the donors then say, okay, now this we want for do. So we want your support. How much you think say the way them call the government they commit? You know, they don't give the money. If they commit, say, okay, like United States, they commit $10 million. You understand? France will say, they commit this amount of money. After they don't get this amount of money before the conference they take place, they get a projected amount. And based on that one, them now they need the countries them, then get for can now, then can give their own proposals. You understand? And based on their proposal, and then they look, they're able to allocate the money. Now individually go say, okay, I don't know how much money I get for going. Now go na a hall. Then anybody will come. How much you can bring no more. That's not so government they work. Government is very, very structured when it comes and raise funds. But again, this another day, when I saw them tell me, then say in fact there was even Magabi was angry on that before he left go na Turkey. He be angry because he don't expect at least then fly all the way. They invite them, they fly all the way for going down. Now they're not able to get a proposal at all for make them able to present. Then get the slides where they use for present their experience, then do them, but the project proposal was not available at the time. It could be a lie, it could be wrong, but these now people there we been did at the way them call one of them now asked after somebody called me. Well
again, I will go back and say you know the detail about that. I'm not gonna sit there and argue about it. But to me, some tendency and they get caught up in the little political mechanism. There is an economic doomsday that is about to happen in Salon. Okay? Education, no education funding, between two. There's a political doomsday way about to happen at Salon. And this not get nothing for do with. It's not ready to wear na purple, na green, na motorcycle, na Okada is the right, you know, and NGC, whatever they call, right? I'm not care what you there's a political doomsday that's about to happen, right? And the reason it's going to happen is because we get a bunch of people and when political elites, maybe not so political, I'll call educational elites, we not understand how things they work for the ordinary person. Okay. You know, where you put policy in place, especially where you put policy within this country, we see policies then, right? One of the biggest blunder after Obamacare was that they failed to sell the value to the regular people then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even people benefit from it. They're not even nothing they benefit from. Because the government failed to sell them. When you do program, there's one thing about the essence, the benefit of the program, how good the program is. Okay? The next part of it is how you sell them to the people then. Okay? How it affects me and you. how it affects us. You go back to the Trump tax cut. A lot of people, I say the Republican base. There's a lot of Republican base where it's a tax cut, right? When you hear the word tax cut, they automatically associate to themselves. But the Trump tax cut was mostly for billionaires. I mean, I don't know if you see the document that came out the past 2 weeks. The direct communications from billionaires then, where they write to the White House as to how they write that bill, how it go benefit them, the billionaires. Michael, if it's me and you today, the tax problem will get. They say the benefit made to the tax. Now the same man they will get. Yeah, they get in tax. I mean, so we're at the same level self. It's have intricacies then. We need to need. We know it's so simple. Now we're getting the simplest tax we work and pay you now, the simplest tax than the level, than the rate. Okay? Somebody spend billions of dollars on equipment. Where you will write down the off. Right? The same way how you with tax, the same way how you got the different loophole then. So my way owe you today, it owe you $10 billion in tax. Right? You say make a defer that tax to next year. Right? Make the option in there. But next year go build a new plant. You go build a new plant today. You don't spend $7 billion for build new plant. Then you take that $7 billion we spend next year, you put up another tax will be all last year. Guess what you owe the government now? Maybe $1 billion. Okay? Then tax is different, but when you fail to teach the people that where you affect directly, where you tax cost, where you program they affect directly, when you fail to educate them, my brother, you system they fail. It is like why you are help the economy this way, right? The way you go about them, it will disrupt them more than you help. And this, again, I will push out. You know, also I stand when it comes to politics. I will go back and say, the way SFP want to implement this, now big mistake. Do a national education, a national sensitization. Do them months and months ahead. The new coins they don't print, put them in TV, put them on television, put them around. So schools them. Send them sample it to schools them. Make them educate people them on now before you implement them.
I agree. I totally agree with you.
Disruption. Let alone you try to do one without any education. How the heck you could do that? But it goes back to, like I said, there's an audacity about this government. We are always the pushback to. Okay? If me no say what I want to do for you, Markota, if I want come with a scheme where they pay you rent, right? But you don't understand how. I think once I want to do something good for you, I'm not going to tell you self. I just go do one. Because you know it's good for you. You know you need for no. No, you are doing something on the public's behalf. When you're on public behalf, you get a buy-in from the public. If you change the currency, first of all, you need a public hearing about this thing before you go print the money. But let's say you don't print it now. That part don't pass. Okay? Because again, they will call Bintumani 5 and 6 and go pass law. Go make it illegal for them. Bullshit. Which they would pass is the education. Go back and educate people about that. Because the same way how somebody, okay, na boy boo na the east and Sumuya na the south, the struggle with that. The same way somebody na the north, the struggle with them. The same way somebody na the western area, the struggle with them. Okay?
You see, the entire
national problem. It's not a political thing. Educate people.
Yeah, the entire thing is the government, they take the people there for granted. Either that way they or they don't know what they do at all. This is where the problem is, because the government gets people their way experience. Not to even the governor. Yes, you might get practical experience. But you don't teach economics for how many years, how many decades? You understand? And besides that,
my brother, teaching and government are two different things.
I understand now the time for talk. I say even like that. Let's say you know get practical experience. What about the other people that now we don't work that central bank there for how many years?
Because you should say no government they work in any country and they would care about 2,000 they work, they would care about expertise. The reason they get country there, no matter which government can, they keep the expertise and they touch them, and because of something like that, because you keep the expertise in place. What's up, man? How much? How you doing? Good. You keep expertise in place. We not get any respect. The Mary Kumot, you never, like I said, never lead. Anama.
Well,
Mama is here.
Let's see how things they go with this government.
I on the phone.
But I don't know. This government is not serious about the people at all. Because if they're serious, let's just ask them for make them hold off into this.
When you college, think about it. When you college, okay, you and your professor they get conversation about what you want to do. Professor tell you what you want to do, hey, do one. Now you adjust to her. Okay, and the same attitude then I am. You get people that when you know they're into public service or they're not ever there in charge of people then. Because when you're in charge of people, I'm asking, okay, if you have 5, 6 people you're in charge of, you don't manage them. And also, forget what you manage them in. Okay? If you don't manage people, you realize, say, sometimes the way you want to do changes, you listen to people, or you go back, you get the buy-in of the people that you want to change things for. Even if it's not something good for them, you go back, you sell to them, what make we need for change, we system. You sell it to them. You can't just throw it down the throat.
Okay.
But the downfall for this government is that there's a bunch of people there who are not ever there in charge of anybody, and never there in charge of people, and they're not political. I'll give you an example, right? These are some people policies right now.
No, this guy don't sit down for 23 years. They wait for this job here.
Hey, brother, I may tell you right now, there's a big difference between since they don't change that guy as chief minister, okay? Wait, JJ Blood take over, Jusu take over as chief minister. The first thing we do, okay? It take that office as an independent office. It change that to chief minister under the office of the president. Because now an independent office. Right?
And that office will be powerful, past even the vice president.
But you get me right? It change them, say, it's also independent office. This is now office under the president. Now people like you should get advisor. This is also independent office. We're not getting on the law. What's an independent office is, right? But another theory demand on they do. Okay? It's an internal SFPP thing, right? It's meeting people at the lower level, waiting our prime minister for they do. Where that guy would have been bring charge, not be ever in charge, not be in charge of politics, not be in charge of anybody, he'll say, "Nine God." Somebody who don't need the politics, you know, waiting voters they need, waiting political voters they need. Totally they approach her differently from the way that guy be the approach her before. That fake guy is I can't like I'm not talking like my village you come on, not so talking like come on. Anyways, I can move. But JJ Blood don't change the perspective of that office there. So that office there, now an advisor to the president. This office is also a ministerial office. It's not independent from the president's office.
Well, unfortunately, we'll still get them for the next 2 years. So, and
I hope they will listen.
And maybe another 5 years after that.
This thing here between me and you two, this thing here, okay? This thing here, my brother, it mess you up more.
Okay.
Right.
I can't run pick up parts.
Oh, okay.
I got to actually get a different shower.
Okay.
That one's just for shower only.
Okay.
Anyone has the bathtub on there too.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna pick everything up now.
All right, man. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. We got like a bunch of guests that are coming.
We got guests coming in from out of town. Like we need a shower.
Sorry, Michael.
Well,
but this thing will affect you more. It will affect, like I said, take SLPP 80 shadow. The money will send me too. All the same money in Africa, right? What's your $100 what now? What's in what?
Nothing. Absolutely, nothing. Absolutely. But let's see how things are. Let them boost the production. I think they are the most important. If they boost local production, then I think say we'll be able to resolve the problem.
Yeah, but lots of production. I'll tell you why. Okay. You also need into rice, mean a farmer. Okay. This government on the push say.
Hey, but
yeah,
they get farming.
Yeah.
Then get farms.
This government, particular government, don't push say they want for increased rice production, right?
Mm-hmm.
They say they want to reduce. They want to reduce the
dependence on imports,
right?
Mm-hmm.
What you then do about 4 months ago? Okay, the rice importers then, marketer, then give them, then cut their tax by 5%. 5%. Okay, that means you just give them free 5% for free. You think about it. If you want to change the projection of rice from the importers, if you give them 5%, so a person will look at us right now. You see what 5% mean, right? Say we're buying at 300,000. 1% of that in about 30,000. Not if math correct there.
Mm-hmm.
No, 5% about 3,000, right?
Yeah.
1% about 3,000. Then 5% of that 3,000 could be about 15,000. You make rice 15,000 cheaper than waiting a actual what? Or about 15,000 cheaper. So now you don't make it more cheaper for the exporters. And then you don't say the problem is salon right now is because for plant rice and produce rice, it costs more than for import rice. Then you go give them 5% more for making it become more cheaper. Of course, there's no cut price though. You not do one say you do one for making a cut price by 5%. You give them for free, buffing, right? So you don't increase them profits by around 5%. So the money you make 1 billion. You owe 5%. Guess what? Now 5 billion, 1.2 or 3 billion I make now. You owe get for free.
Well,
you know if harder for make the possible way to produce the rice for it compete.
Well, Auntie Madabi will get a farm now, and the what's minister again? The deputy minister of agriculture, the information. I think the
farm.
They all get farm now, so let's see if they're able for.
So APC, but who SPC man and get farm? They all say last time they go to farmer then a political farm then get.
And just they go snap no more people their farm. They say now we farm this
political farm where you get free seed, free labor. Okay, go to farm now. They have political farm, my brother. Political farm.
Then they go snap people their farm. They say now we farm this. Anyway,
be serious. I'm political farm now, not to farm.
Anyway,
okay. So you get free seed, free labor, everything free, fertilizer free for you, machine free for you. Not to farm you get. So because they run as business. Because I said today, you put farm on 91 or if they give you free, land is free, you still now you get free farm or to farming now. Farming is a business. The same way you buy, where somebody buy and sell. Then at farming, you got the money you put inside and the money you pull out, you need for balance. But if you have zero they put in, whatever you get out of it, you get 5,000 steps. What the labor and seed, everything costs 100,000. You see profits. Because of political, the day political we come and power, guess what? That farm the same. All the APC farm, all the APC
unfortunately, we don't go overboard the time. So thank you very much for coming. I actually appreciate the interaction, and I also want to thank the people that will give their own comments on this. Like I always they say, this is a national discussion. Let we continue for discuss, and hopefully, right now we know that for say we don't spend money for printing here. It's already been printed. So what we want for first the governor or the government for do now. For make them all off into that, let them try first for do
educate people.
Massive education of the people them for making up bring problems. So now that one day we get for focus now because what we get for do now? They don't print the things already and then spend millions of dollars for putting them things. You know, unfortunately they're not for be non-do but they don't do them. So now we just try for tell them say you need for all up for introduce this until people then get common basic understanding of what we try for them. So Bashir, thank you very much for coming to the program.
You're welcome. So make I tell you, I advise you the platform yet. No put too much emphasis on the political part, which if you don't get parliament. The other parliament is, to be honest, like useless body. Like useless body. To be honest, I don't care for that party. Today NGC we get the all the vote for NGC in program. But we not put too much credence on our parliament way.
Yeah,
okay?
Well,
people that need to get educated, make them do the right thing. The civic
unfortunately,
education.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. With parliament, now problem anyway. Now the first parliament, this why they see people then they fed themselves. Then they bounce now inside parliament. First time in history.
Now where they go, now they say that chief they become parliamentarian. Chief who made not vote for, they become parliamentarian.
And that make we within the diaspora now supposed for serious for us, but who self not serious. So everybody is just
make we continue, because I think people are listening. Like we not get caught up between the half politics. You get me? There's a problem. There's a national problem. I don't care what party you deal with. This money here, it affects you.
Yeah.
I'm not care what party you deal with. Go support the SLPP. Support in a fair, you must go support her. You get me? You go suffer. If they put this there, you just have to be waiting it mean to you. You go suffer.
Yeah.
Okay. Make we pull the politics out of her, because then you get more people buying. But if we don't make the political APC will do different, people do different. No. What we just tell you say, that will change with money, you know, educate you, but we see the change. What change that?
Well, thank you very much for coming to the program again.
You're welcome, bro.
Bye. All right, that was Bashir Darami. We once in a while they come at the program as a contributor, or can contribute small things where they talk. Let's just like what we've been talk about. It is important that sometimes this is a national issue. This not get nothing to do with politics. I totally agree with Bashir. This not get nothing to do with politics. This get to do with you waiting at the diaspora, we waiting at salon. Some of them we get for put politics aside and try for reining into some of them mishaps here where with government they do. Like I said, this government, the problem we then get is they don't know the differences between a tail and a head. Then they put the cart before the horse, then they begin reverse. That is the biggest problem we get with this government. Unfortunately, this guy don't first for this TI, they wait for this TI for over 20 years. And within that time, then they me, like way I wouldn't call so. I know say yes, I get for run for something. Me time no reaches. What they do? I they try for study, look at me the people that we in a leadership position right now, the mistakes what they do, the good things what they do, compile them together, put them, and they use them as a foundation. If I become a leader now, I will know say this me predecessor now this he do way now a mistake. So let not repeat the mistakes then they again. But we expect that for happen with this government. Let this government don't look at the mistakes of the APC party where we will be in the power and try for avoid their mistakes then they. But in fact, they know they only they avoid the mistakes them, then they make new mistakes them on top of the mistakes then will be not make. So it becomes compounded. The problem becomes compounded. Now that make no matter what you then do, then they always they're not able to express themselves in a way then we're able to tell people then say now this because then we don't do these good things here, then bring something where they can overshadow what they don't do. Like this year where they don't do so. You know now right now the topical this redenomination under the topic, something where they probably don't start long time ago for educate people there. But again, it is not too late because at the end of the day, now me, you and the people that waiting at the village are in the suffer. I thank you very much. We'll see you back next week, the same time, the same place. Stay blessed.